Thank you to Nintendo for sponsoring this video. My name is Cooper, and I have been a lifelong Nintendo fan and collector. In one of my most recent videos, I was in Greenville, South Carolina for the Southeast Game Exchange, and I was there to try to find the most expensive and rare items that I could, one of which was a gray Nintendo World Championships cartridge valued at around $84,000, which is absolutely insane. I never thought that I would be able to own an official version of this game because there are bootlegs and reproductions you can get for a very cheap price, but when Nintendo reached out to me to send me this game, I could not believe it. I could not be more happy. Not only working with Nintendo in an official capacity as a longtime fan, that is incredible, but also just to actually have an official version of this game without having to pay $84,000 is incredible. It's not the NES version, but it is the NES edition, and that is the Nintendo World Championships NES Edition Deluxe Set for the Nintendo Switch. Like I said, they did send this to me to unbox and show on the channel here, but before we get to that, I'm going to throw it back to the Southeast Game Exchange where I interviewed my buddy Adam Prager, who has the world's largest NWC collection. So he's going to tell you guys how it all started and just all about it.
My name's Adam Prager. I'm an NWC collector. That's the 1990 Nintendo World Championships. The Nintendo World Championships happened in 1990. They toured 29 different cities. They did LA twice, so it's 30 different events, and then it ended up at Universal Studios in Hollywood, where they crowned 3 champions, the 11 and under, 12 to 17, and then 18 and up categories. There were 30 people from each category, and then it dwindled down to the 3 final winners, which was Jeff Hansen, Robert Whiteman, and Thor Ackerman, which everyone knows of.
So you guys are going to be seeing more from Adam in the future in another video, but for now, let's get into the unboxing of this. The outside of the packaging here for this game is beautiful. I love the gold foil on the logo and the little trophy that's on the front. Just very sleek packaging overall. Getting into this thing, we have the actual game itself, which, if I'm understanding correctly, is being released as a standalone game as well. So it's not just the deluxe set, but this is super cool. I would have loved to see an instruction manual in here. Most games these days don't come with them, and this has a lot of extra stuff, so maybe it's not super necessary, but for a collector's edition, it would have been cool to see something like that. We also have the replica gold NES cartridge. This is really, really cool. The only thing is that this is just a display item. This doesn't have an actual game board inside of it. John Riggs actually uploaded a video right when this game came out where he put a Nintendo World Championships reproduction board in there and turned it into a working cartridge. You guys should definitely check out his video if you'd like to see that. Very, very cool stuff. Then we have this little pack of, I guess you would just call these art cards. So these are double-sided little cards here that have 8-bit versions of the characters on the back side, and then on the front it's got the box art for the games. Very, very cool. There's obviously a lot of games included on this. Very excited to jump into it. There's also this really cool little acrylic stand that is used to hold up the replica gold cartridge. Very, very high quality thing here. This is really cool. It's going to be a nice little shelf display piece. We're almost done with the unboxing. The last thing, which in my opinion is the coolest thing, are the pins. I love that they are Nintendo World Championships themed as well, and not just like a standard Mario, Link, and Donkey Kong. They actually have to do with the game, which is super cool. I love this set. So now that we've unboxed it, let's continue. So starting off with this game, you get to pick a little like avatar. And Excitebike has always been, you know, one of my favorite NES games, so of course I had to pick that one. It looks like you can get coins in the game and unlock different avatars as you go on. I'm not going to be messing with that today because I just want to jump into this game. And from the main menu, it looks like there are a few different options here. I'm starting at the top with the, basically the speedrunning stuff. And there are all these mini challenges. There's a bunch of them for each game that's included on here. And I decided just to start at the top with Super Mario Brothers, and pretty simple, right? The first one, you just run and grab the mushroom as quickly as you can. One of the most simple and probably most performed tasks in any Mario game. It's the first mushroom in the first game. Yet, with the challenge of trying to do it as quick as you can and giving you a ranking and showing your exact time down to the milliseconds, it really makes me want to do it over and over and over, which I did. And I was actually able to improve my time to the point where I felt I cannot go any quicker without some other type of strategy that I don't know about, right? And I think that's part of the fun in this game, is that you don't have to be a speedrunner to play this game, right? You don't have to be interested in speedrunning, because I'm not a speedrunner, never have been, never will be. But for some reason, this is so addicting to me, and I absolutely am enjoying this game, and I'm loving it. I tried a bunch of the Mario levels. Actually, after I played this for a while, I went back to Mario again, and I ended up getting all the way to the very last one, which is basically to beat the entire Super Mario Brothers game, which I wasn't about to try to sit down and do. But all the other challenges are super fun, and I love Mario, so this is awesome. Continuing on, we have a bunch of games included on this Nintendo World Championships, and these are games that were not included in the original. Obviously, they had Tetris in there, and there's no Tetris on this version, but they did include a bunch of other awesome games. We have stuff like Mario 1, 2, and 3. We have the Mario Lost Levels. There's Zelda 1 and 2, Metroid, Donkey Kong, Balloon Fight, Kid Icarus, Excite Bike, and more. Very, very fun compilation of games here, and I think everyone could agree these are basically like your classic Nintendo-made NES games, right? Obviously, there's no Contra or Castlevania on here, but those are not Nintendo properties, so it does make a lot of sense. But going through these challenges, it's really fun because they're so quick and easy to get through. Even if you're not really moving that quick, some of these I messed up on. You know, I thought that I had messed up on them and completely ruined it, but I still get a B. So you don't really have to be that precise, but if you do, like I was trying to be, you can get an S tier on some of these games, or an S grade. And I was only able to do that for a few challenges throughout the whole thing, but getting an A+ or an A++ didn't seem to be too difficult for me, as kind of like, you know, maybe slightly above average gamer. I'm not a pro or anything like that, but, you know, I've played plenty of games, so I kind of know what I'm doing here and there. But I'm just having a ton of fun with this, and obviously, if you like what you see, this is a game that you definitely should check out. It's a fun way to kind of experience a lot of these games as well, without having to get an NES and get, you know, these 10 or 12 different games all together. That could get quite expensive. This is a nicely packaged game here for the Nintendo Switch. Tons of people have a Switch available right now. Obviously, my channel is focused on retro gaming and collecting, so I assume that a lot of people watching this video do own an NES already, and you might have all, or at least a majority of these games, but it's a little different when you have it on the Switch, and it's really fun to just have it all in one nice little package here. I'm having a ton of fun with this game, and I can't wait to continue. After checking out the speedrunning portion, I went back to the main menu and checked out these little, like, I guess they're like online competition little miniature versions of NWC, and it looks like they're going to rotate the games and the challenges weekly, which is pretty cool. So if you're playing this game a couple months from now, there's going to be something a little bit different for you. And yeah, they're kind of the same challenges that you'll experience in the speedrun thing, but playing against a bunch of other people, even if they're not playing live, these are, you know, everyone just competes whenever they want, and Nintendo puts them together on the back end, but seeing you compete against the other characters and seeing them on screen is very gratifying. I was able to get first place in my first silver competition, I think it was. First try, which is pretty cool. And I didn't get first place on the initial level. I think I got like second or third. But then after that, I was winning all the challenges, and that made me feel pretty good. And you know, I'm not sure if it kind of is a skill-based thing that kind of like they match you with other people that are at your level. I'm not sure if it works like that or not, but either way, very, very fun. And I love that there is an online component with this, because being a Nintendo World Championships game, it just makes sense that you can compete with people all around the world, and that's really, really fun to me. Whenever I play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe online, I'm always racing against people in Japan and stuff like that, and it's just kind of cool to be able to connect in that way with people that you don't know, they're not living in your country even, and I think that's a lot of fun, and it just makes sense for the World Championships to be online like that. There's a few other things in here. You're collecting pins and stuff like that every time you complete challenges or you get a certain rank on a specific area. So there's a little bit of a collectathon to this as well, which, you know, triggers something in my collector brain, which I really enjoy. But I do think that the main appeal for this game are those speedrun challenges that you're completing in like a single player, like on your own, and trying to improve your own score, because when you're playing in the championship online, you have one shot to do it and that's kind of it. But when you're doing them on your own, you're just, at least when I was doing it, I was retrying them over and over and shaving milliseconds off my time and just trying to optimize my movements and stuff like that. This game is awesome. So there it is, guys. What do you think? I had a lot of fun playing this game. It actually reminds me a lot of how I used to play the original Tony Hawk games back on PS1 and N64. There are the competition levels in Tony Hawk where you have to try to get the highest score, beat out the opponents, and whenever I was playing those, if I had a long streak of tricks going and I fell, or just any time that I would fall, I would pause it, I would go down to retry, hit the button, and start over. And that is the same feeling that I'm getting with these speed challenges in this game. It's very quick and very easy to, once you realize you're not going to beat your time or you're doing bad, you can hit L and R and then hit A, and you're back in it starting over, and it takes half a second to do that. I love how quick they make that, because the whole game is about speed and quickness. If, you know, a lot of these challenges, they only take a few seconds to do, so you don't want to have to wait for a loading screen or anything like that to go back and retry. You want it to be as quick as possible, and I think that they nailed it. I'm not just saying this because Nintendo sent me this game for review. I actually really enjoyed it. I have put about an hour into it so far, and it is just so fun. I can't wait to keep going. But for now, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks again to Nintendo for sending me this game, and thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.